All right, guys, I'm going to talk today about why you're not compressing the golf ball, why you've never really compressed the golf ball. It's unbelievable. 80% of golfers just kind of slapping at it, picking it, guys. Nothing worse than hitting it thin, okay? There's a reason why you're not compressing it, and leaning the shaft forward is only going to make you worse. Gosh, this game is so cruel, okay? Hang in there. This is going to be a good one. All right, guys, so what's the reason that you don't have permission to compress the golf ball? You don't have permission to lean the shaft forward. It's actually pretty straightforward. It's your club face, guys. It's your club face. 80% of golfers have an open club face. Compared with tour players, compared with elite golfers, it's not even close. You got to bear in mind the downswing takes a quarter of a second, okay, from the top of the backswing to impact. It happens very, very quickly. And in that space of time, even the best players in the world have a rate of club face closure anywhere between 2,500 and 3,500 degrees per second. And they're coming down, guys, from a square position at worst. Most of them are in a slightly closed position. So how much rotation do you require if your club face is open? Probably closer to 4,000 degrees plus. If you need 4,000 degrees plus of closure in your club face, you better work really, really hard. Really, really hard. And that's what all of you are doing. That's right, your shaft is leaning backwards. You're not going to be in this position with your hands opposite your left leg. This beautiful position you see with tour players. If you were in that position with an open club face, where do you think your golf ball would go? Absolutely miles to the right. So any of you that have an open club face that have worked on creating more lag, for example, or created more shaft lean, you're only getting worse, okay? You have to work way too hard. You have to scoop. Anything you have to do to square the club face is necessary in order for you to go out and play any kind of decent golf, okay? So what's the fix? What's the answer? How do we compress the golf ball? Well, it's got to be the club face, getting it more square. And I've got a couple of tricks for you that I think are really going to help. We don't need to overcomplicate this, but we've got to be a lot more aware of what the hands and arms are doing in the golf swing, because everyone tends to defer, guys, to moving their body better in order to compress the golf ball. And while it's important to have a drift phase, there's no question that recentering has a part. It shouldn't be your number one priority. Your number one priority should be to get the club face in a position where it's stronger. If you can get your club face in a stronger position, guys, you've got permission to start compressing it, because when your hands are forward, your club face is going to be square. I hope that makes sense. So we know that we need to hit the ground in front of the golf ball, okay? You want to strike it solidly, you got to hit down on it. I've got to get the equator of this golf ball into the center of the club face, okay? There is no argument there. In order to get the equator into the center of the club face, guys, the shaft has to be leaning more towards the golf ball. We've got to increase our angle of attack. If I hit down on the golf ball climbs up the face. That's what creates backspin. That's what gets the ball up in the air in the first place. Most of you, of course, the bottom of your arc is too far behind the golf ball. You don't have a steep enough angle of attack. You're not getting negative enough on your approach, because your shaft is leaning backwards. Can you see that? So my shaft's leaning backwards. I'm going to hit the equator of the golf ball with the leading edge, which is going to have me top the golf ball, hit it thin a lot of the time. Not a good feeling. You feel like you got stung by a handful of bees. We've all been there. All right, so here's the deal. Let's go ahead and get the club face in a square position. Right here, can you see my right hand? It's more on top of the golf club, okay? Essentially what we want is we want the toe of the golf club here pointing in the same direction as our spine angle. Very, very straightforward. That is probably the most important checkpoint in golf, guys. That first move away. We don't want to get the club face rolled open. You can see if I roll it open, my right hand is more underneath the handle. Now I've got the toe pointing in the complete opposite direction. If I face you with this open club face and I lean it forward, I'm going to probably hit blocks, slices and shanks all day long. So from an open position, the only way to close it is to do this, okay? is to do that. I've got no linear movement with my arms, okay? We need to get your arms moving forward, guys. Incredibly important to create speed with your hands and arms. Cameron Champ, guys, almost 30 miles an hour of hand speed, 28 miles an hour to be precise. No surprise he's the longest hitter on the PGA Tour. Most amateurs are so much less than that, I can't even tell you. But again, you don't even have permission to have fast arms, because if your arms are moving quickly, the ball's going to go miles out to the right. So get the toe of the club pointing more down, halfway back, okay? I'm going to do a little half swing here. Go ahead and check it. There we go. Toe down, okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead and hit one, okay? Now you notice that's what I would describe as a supported release, okay? All I'm doing there is moving my arms forward as I strike the golf ball. My left arm is getting off my chest. My right hand and arm are moving forward, okay? What you don't want to be doing, guys, is moving your body over here in an attempt to try and compress the golf ball. The head stays relatively quiet, okay? So that's pretty straightforward. We're going to do it one more time. Check it. Perfect. Back. And there you can see, just chipping it down the fairway, okay? Now, if I do that from face on, little different angle, same thing. Check the toe. There we go. And here's impact. All right, and you can see there, arms moving forward, no problem whatsoever. That ball went absolutely dead straight. Why? Well, because the club face is in a good position. So what do I think about with my trail hand? Very simple. I get the palm of my right hand pointing down when I take it back. I'm going to go one. Look at my right hand on top of the golf club, not underneath. All right, it's on top. Look at the toe, pointing in the same direction as my spine. It's square, guys, okay? I'm going to start to take my right hand, and I'm going to start to hinge it towards my right arm. What I'm not going to do here, guys, is roll the club away. That gets the club behind me, gets the face wide open at the top of the backswing. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to hinge my wrist this way, so the palm of my right hand is pointing more up towards the sky. So let's do that same drill. But now, I'm going to go one, check it, right hand's on top, two, check it, right hand's underneath, all right? And then I'm going to go ahead and hit one. So I'm going to go one, two, and then hit it. Good stuff. I'm going to do it one more time. One, two, check it, hit it. All right, just chipping an 8-iron out there, maybe 90 yards or so. Pretty straightforward, okay? I'm not focused on right now trying to get my hands forward. All I'm focusing on is managing my club face, which is so incredibly important, all right? Now, a lot of you get the club in a pretty decent position at the top of your backswing. But on the way down, you're so focused on trying to create lag the wrong way, which is to freeze everything, tie your arms to your body, and try and hold on to the golf club for dear life, that you're getting your lead wrist as you do that in an extended position, okay? So what tends to happen is, guys, we go from a pretty good position here, okay? And then all of a sudden, we're cupping that left wrist as we approach. And as we approach, you can see I'm back to square one, aren't I? Look at this. I've cut my lead wrist. Maybe I've got some good angles here. But look at the toe of the golf club. When I go to impact, it's miles out to the right. So the same thing applies now, guys. You're back to looking this way at impact. You did a lot of things right to the top. And then as soon as you started down, you got the club face in an open position. So the trick here, guys, is from the top of the backswing, we've got to make sure this right hand, watch this right hand, okay? It's pointing at the sky. I'm going to start to move my right hand towards the camera. I'm moving it toward, and I'm doing it almost immediately, okay? Don't try and do it down in here. It's way too late. 0.25 seconds to impact. Are you kidding me? You're going to do it in the last thousandth of a second? I don't think so. The best players in the world, guys, are starting to rotate the toe of the golf club immediately. They change direction. Immediately, okay? It's a gradual rotation. It's not something that's happening right here at the golf ball. So if I take my right hand, I move it towards you, okay? As I approach that impact position, guess where the palm of my right hand's pointing? You guessed it, it's pointing down. So I've got a really good matchup here between my takeaway and my delivery position, okay? So look at the toe of the golf club. There it is. Now watch. You see how the toe's starting to rotate? All I'm feeling there, guys, is I'm feeling like the palm of my right hand is turning back towards you. I'm turning my knuckles essentially down earlier. So now look at me when I approach impact. Okay, my right hand feels a little bit more on top of the golf club. Now, this is the trick. I'm telling you, this is the trick to compressing the golf ball. Once you start to feel what your trail hand is doing in your golf swing, once you start to give your trail hand a job, because most of you, be honest with yourselves, how many times have you even thought about your right hand when you swing a golf club? All right, most of you are just trying to turn your body back and turn your body through. Maybe you're trying to get open with your hips, which is an absolute swing destroyer. All right, this is what's keeping me in business. But how many of you are really focusing on this as you swing the golf club? Very, very few. So give this a shot and give me a comment. I always answer my comments. Love to hear what you have to say, okay? So now what I'm going to do, guys, same thing. I'm just going to do it slowly, all right? So I'm going to go through here, feel my right hand, feel it moving towards the camera. I'm going to continue to turn it down. I'm focusing on educating my hands and arms, guys. Hands and arms, okay? Let your body be employed by your hands and arms. Focus on getting your club face in a good position, okay? Focus on moving your arms further forward. All right, you'd be amazed how your body will respond dynamically. Let's go ahead and hit one. So I know that feels good. I know that feels good. That's the feeling I want as I start my downswing. Let's do the same thing. Good, good, good. Another 8-iron about 100, 110 yards. We'll do it one more time. I can feel it. Right hand there feels on top, pointing at the ground. Now it points at the sky. Now it's turning towards the camera. I can feel it, guys. Here we go. Right hand, right hand, right hand. All right, good. Once you start to develop that feel, you might start to see the ball hooking a little bit. Why would that be? Well, if you're used to using your hands back here, but your club face is now in a closed position, or at least a square to closed position, you really should be hooking the ball. That would be a really good plus. Why is that a plus? Because if you start hooking, what's it going to give you permission to do with your arms? You got it. You can start to get your arms moving further forward. You can get more linear, guys, okay? We need to get linear. So what I do here is, once I start to get my club face in this position where it's closing earlier, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to start to feel like my arms are extending past the golf ball. My club face is good, okay? That's the caveat. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to start to extend my arms past the golf ball. Start to brush the grass a little further forward, okay? So, good, good, good. Look at this, okay? My hands are going to be forward, so I'm starting to get my hands moving forward. Go ahead and hit a little one here. All right. Oh boy, back in the old country, that would have been really good. So that 8-iron, guys, I bet that launch wasn't any more than about 17 degrees, okay? With an 8-iron, it came out super low. Absolutely felt like butter. So I hit the center of the club face. I negated loft. When I got my arms moving forward, I hit it absolutely dead straight. And I think that's probably the trick, right? If the more you get your arms forward, the straighter you hit it, it gives you permission to compress it. And that's what I want you to understand, guys. The trail hand and the club face, okay, are so incredibly important. If you want to compress the golf ball, you have to start to educate your hands. So I really hope this helps. Go through the drills, guys. Check your right hand. Do it without a golf club. Palm down, palm up, palm down. Then what we're going to do, guys, start to swing the arms more freely. Don't spin your way to more speed, okay? I can't tell you how many people are struggling with spinning their bodies, okay? Get those arms forward. You're going to have a heck of a good time. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you think this can help, go ahead and share. Press that subscribe button. I certainly appreciate it. Thanks for checking in. We'll talk to you soon.